Welcome to Rec Radio Week and Halloween month, well, 3 months, where we rock out with our grande pumpkin chai latte with extra whip and stevia and half an espresso shot out. Let me explain what this is a list of. I watch the same 20 movies around Halloween time every year. A lot of them I like in part or entirely for their background music. Some of them are spooky. Some of them are bloody. And some of them are cult legends that you cannot deny their power. Here are my top 5 personal favorite horror, Halloween, rock soundtracks, whatever I call this video. Let's set the tone of this list with number 5, Queen of the Damned. Remember when I called Deftones vampire sex rock? This is where that comes from. Yes, I am the who discovered Deftones from a vampire movie soundtrack, so sue me? But this whole album seemed to encapsulate the dark, sexy underbelly of humanity. And what does that sound like? Papa Roach and Disturbed. Top tracks? Change in the House of Flies. That's it, really, there's no comparison. Number 4, The Crow soundtrack. Most horror movie soundtracks do not only represent a single film or a spooky season, they signal an era. The Crow soundtrack. Oh damn, I started with 2 movies where their stars died tragically young. Opens with the gorgeous Burn by The Cure, which sets the beautiful but macabre and romantic tone of this film. Violent Femmes, Rage Against the Machine, and Stone Temple Pilots were featured to drive home that mid-90s aesthetic of industrial rock, dark music that at the time sounded like the future. This is a movie that has created its own legacy and has a sparkling track list of seductive hard rock to accompany. Top tracks, Dead Souls by 9 Inch Nails and After the Flesh by My Life with the Thrill Cult. It's not even one of my favorite tracks, I just really want to say their name. Number 3, Night of the Demons soundtrack. The Night of the Demons remake was American Pie with a lot more blood. I found it late, but still had room for Shannon Elizabeth fever. If you get a chance to see this ridiculously fun movie, take it. One of the demons pulled a lipstick out of her boob. And you definitely do not even know what I mean when I say that. Now, I never exactly recognized any of these band names besides Creature Feature, who are the thematic pop kings of Halloween, but I did find some slaps. Top tracks, Boris Karloff by the Barbarella Tones and Incredible Two-Headed Transplant by Haunted Garage. If you're going for a more cheesy Halloween rock party kind of vibe, this album is for you. Number 2, for my Halloween movie rock playlist, is The Lost Boys. Not only is The Lost Boys one of my favorite Halloween time movies of all time, one of its greatest feats was creating a soundtrack that reflected a very specific time, place, and people. Taking place in the neon 80s of fictitious Santa Carla, California, this soundtrack focused on the through-line theme of who the weirdos really are.
We are the weirdos, mister.
And how better to do that in rad 1987 but to get Echo and the Bunnymen to cover The Doors' People Are Strange. Not only does this movie have a killer opening track, but it has 2, count them, 2 theme songs. Well, okay, it only has 1 official theme song, which has an equally 80s-licious music video to go with it. But then there's Cry Little Sister by Gerard McMahon, which was the culmination of spooky children's choir excellence, with the 80s ballad epicness of McMahon's stadium rock vocals, later covered by Aiden, which never needed to happen. You just feel like the song alone could turn you into a vampire. Top tracks, the ones I just recently mentioned, plus a special shout out for my mom's definite favorite song, which is Tim Capello's I Still Believe. I think that she has a visual bias. Bonus Halloween album for the countdown. I cannot mention the Lost Boys soundtrack without also mentioning its legacy, Lost Boys The Tribe. The soundtrack, not the movie. You literally never need to see the movie. If you do, look forward to Kiefer Sutherland's son, who was a brick with sunglasses for the entire movie. There was one very clever little gag that they did to update the film where the vampires would stab each other in order to upload it to YouTube. But besides that, the movie really had 0 charm. The soundtrack, however, is a mix of weird but undoubtedly cool tracks from everyone from Blind Melon to G-Love and the Special Sauce. This soundtrack legitimately introducing me to 2 of my top 10 favorite bands to this day. Extra points if you can guess who they are in the comments below. And now it comes to that point in the video where I list the number 1 Halloween time rock movie. And now it comes to that point in the video where I announce my number 1 top Halloween time movie soundtrack. And now it comes to that time in the video where I announce my number 1 top Halloween movie soundtrack of all time, and it is the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know about you guys, but seeing this movie as a teenager may or may not have opened my eyes to the larger world of human expression and sexuality. It may not have shaped who I am today, but definitely freed it. The Rocky Horror Picture Show will inevitably land on every Party City Kids Halloween party soundtrack with the Time Warp, but this soundtrack is so much more than the Time Warp. Compared to the legacy of I Would Do Anything for Love But Not That, we got to see a different side of Meatloaf that we had never seen before. And he has a lot of sides. It was half musical, half comedy, half deliciously perverse fantasy. Is that too many halves? But it was all rock and roll. Top tracks! Well, actually, I have to split these into sections because there's too much to talk about. First in the cute and fun section is Damn It, Janet, which, damn it, never stops me from laughing. Even the science fiction double feature intro and outro is its own brand of weird, but in a way that you want to cathartically be a part of. But the big winners on the soundtrack for me particularly feature Sir, he's a knight, right? Sir Tim Curry, with the soulful and sensitive ballad of I'm Going Home, and the sultry and exciting Sweet Transvestite. Literally, if you want me, dudes, if you want me to be your bitch, show up to a Halloween party dressed like that, and you won't be able to peel me off of you. That was way too much information, but thank God it's time to spin that wheel! Having only listed 5 soundtracks, I'm sure I left some out. What do you guys listen to at this time of year? Down below in the comments. Hey guys, we have a mashup. That only means that I basically get to do 2 things that I really want to do. If you would love to listen to the 11 hours of Halloween rock that I've collected over the years since Rec Radio days, that Spotify playlist link is in the description down below. But right now, we're going to go to a new segment that we've been trying out called Delayed Conversation, or Social Seance, as I call it in my head, where I go to all my social media dashboards and see what you guys are talking about and respond in real time on this video, which is not real time when you're watching it. Today we are going to look at some of the comments of my previous YouTube videos. To be honest, I usually respond to all of them because I usually get a grand total of like 6. But let's talk about more of what you guys were talking about. In my Adulting at the Dollar Store video, Alejandro says, the craftsmanship heaven, a lot of cool deals everywhere. I would say it's the craftsmanship, like, purgatory. Like, I found a handsaw there, but no screws or nails. I found packing tape, but not measuring tape. It's really all that you can get your hands on at the dollar store. Amber says, the kid with a tablecloth comment killed me because I am constantly telling my son, stop that! That particular joke came from real life experience, as I hoped a lot of people would relate to it. But the truth is, I was that kid. Whimsical Gaming says, the first time I went to the dollar store with my girlfriend, she was so excited she skipped to the door. That sounds like me, except don't have a boyfriend. Oh my gosh. Haley said, you are so cute, I love this video, and I didn't see that. Thank you, Haley! And also thank you, Haley, if you happen to subscribe. Here we are. And Apathetic says, wow, even you can make a trip to the dollar store more exciting and entertaining. It's not hard when the deals are so good and the fails are so epic. If you liked my ice cream demon horns, well, you can get some yourself. I actually make and sell handmade Halloween fake food costume accessories. I excitedly figured out exactly what I'm going to be this Halloween as I was dozing off to sleep last night, and I have to say, this idea is one of the most creative, original concepts that I personally have ever made for myself. And if you want to see it, then you have to subscribe because it's going to be on my social media one way or another, if not an entire video dedicated to how I'm going to create my future 2020 Halloween look. And I guess that means that this is my outro.